wanna show your wings, but you still wanna fly. You swear you wanna live with him, but you don't wanna die. You swear that you're a follower, but he was crucified. If you say you love him and hate your brother, then man, you lie.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Eve. I want to say thank you for listening to my podcast. Thank you for being a supporter. And just thank you for everything that you do. I could say what a Christmas I had. Today it's getting better. A lot of the snow plows are here. They're really clearing out the street. Unfortunately, the death tolls are coming up, and I'm just praying for the families right now, especially those that lost loved ones in their homes and every other thing that's going on that's really not being reported on the news. I'm actually getting most of my information via Facebook, and there's a community out there, and we're just helping each other, even if it's just through prayer. So I'm thankful that God has me. And so one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was, forgive me because your voice is a little raspy, was be mindful of what you pray about. I'm grateful and I'm thankful for what God has done for me during this Christmas event in Buffalo, New York. But it also made me be mindful of what I pray for. So not too long ago, I was sharing with my communities of sisters in Esther Prep to be mindful of holiday depression. And so I said, God, I was really praying to God. There we go. I was really praying to God. I said, God, I don't want to be, depressed on holidays, because it takes a while for me to kind of snap out of it. And one of my prayer focus was to just, have my eyes on him, to worship him, to, be grateful and have gratitude within my heart. So that was my plan. And I was believing in myself for doing that. And then from there, I was going to go on a fast. Long and behold, I did get some weather warning. They were saying a cyclone blizzard was coming to Buffalo. I'm like, what in the world is that? I really didn't pay no attention, unfortunately. And I wish I did, because I would have definitely kind of been a little bit more prepared. And I noticed Thursday night, I went through some unusual warfare between me and somebody. And it kind of really had me just really in the face of God, seeking God. And I had this incredible moment with God. God's presence really was on me. And I was just really grateful, because it's like, God, I don't deserve you. And I noticed, like, right after I had this moment with God, I just had like these weird demonic attacks mentally. I'm not trying to go into it too deep, because I want to be mindful of where everybody's at spiritually, and just even if you're not into God, which I suggest, he's the best thing. I don't want to steer you away. But anywho, so God was highlighting for me to charge my phone, charge my laptop, charge the iPads. And me, I'm so mad at myself. I said, no, I don't feel like it. It's not that important. I could skip this book, because I was assuming that God was kind of really pushing me to do that so I could read a specific book there. But I said, no, I could do it on my laptop. And, my laptop doesn't need to be charged, and vice versa. And the weirdest thing happened is that night was the only night that I have not let my laptop stay on a charger. I always keep my laptop on a charger, because this specific laptop is an older laptop. And so it runs out of battery very quickly, but thankfully it does the job for what I needed to do. Anywho, I didn't charge it. And I was cleaning up literally the night before. And because I was emotionally heightened, I threw certain things in the garbage. And I have to say, I love God so much for just like some things. He just like, daughter, don't do it. I threw out a candle, and I threw out an older laptop. And the reason why I highlight these two things is because the next day we had no power. And of course, a laptop you could use to charge your phone. And that laptop was found in a clean out, and I couldn't find the password to it. So I said, there's no point in having this laptop if I can't do nothing with it. But it was charged because I have it was a Dell, and I also have two other laptops that are Dells as well. So that's another story within itself. And just to, go down that road is, I've learned and I've been told, and I've been trying to be mindful, even when you're going through things, to not be led by your emotions. Because honestly, had I not allowed my emotions to get to the best of me, I wouldn't have thrown out the candle. I wouldn't have thrown, but I'm just like, I'm over it. I'm over this living situation. I just want to just throw stuff out so it could be easier for me to pick up and move. That was my mindset. And so I was supposed to go to the store that Thursday and get stuff for the kids. And knowing me, I was going to get some more batteries because obviously some toys are going to require batteries. I'm in my emotions, so I just said, forget it. We're just going to go tomorrow. Well, guess what? Tomorrow, the snowstorm hit. And we had power. And the funny thing is, God woke me up again. I don't never wake up around 7 o'clock. My youngest daughter woke up. And I had another chance to actually charge my phone and my laptop and pray. And I know at that moment, God was really kind of warning me to, prepare myself, because I never get up that early. But I just got up, I fed my daughter, I set her in her little bouncer, and put on CoComelon, and I just made sure she was okay. And then from there, I dozed back off. And so I want to say a lot of hours later, I get woken up by my oldest daughter, and she's like, there's no electricity. And I'm like, what? So I literally was sleeping this whole time. I could have charged my phone. I could have just been seeing, throughout the Facebook saying that, hey, there's no electricity. I could have prepared myself, but I did not prepare myself. And so that is one of the things that I really I am going to change is, allowing my flesh, allowing myself, my emotions to, have control over me, because I could have been in an advantage. And so we didn't have any power, and we was not prepared at all. Luckily, thankfully, we had a gas stove, and I'm just so thankful that I hate to say this, but during my little kind of crazy stage, I'm saying, oh my God, the world's going to come. I don't want to say the world's going to come to the end, but there was a moment where I don't know how to explain it, but I believe that there was going to be a blackout, and we were not going to have any power, hint, hint, and we needed to stack up on perishables and everything. Well, I did that. And not only that, I did it also because my mentor talked about price and infiltration, and fluctuation. I can't pronounce it, but the prices were going up. And she said, just to do it just in case, like beans and rice, because you never know. And I did that. So I do have like these over like 50 pounds of beans. No, not that many beans. I actually been eating them, but I have a lot of rice. So, and they do come in handy for times like this, or just, just to have. It's always good to have, especially you never know when prices are going up. But anywho, so I prepared food-wise from what my mentor was saying. Lights and candles, that was because I went on a rampant, and I bought all these flashlights, all these things, and no batteries were working. Couldn't find any batteries because I didn't buy any batteries. Luckily, I had enough tea tree lights, I think, the little tiny lights that you get from Dollar Store. I had bought a pack of 100 of them, and I had like maybe 2, possibly 3 candles left around the house. And a lot of blankets, a lot of old blankets that I known I was going to throw out, but thank God I didn't get around to them. Thank God I didn't get around to them. So, of course, we're just like putting blankets on the windows, doubling up, boiling water, doing everything. And I noticed my prayers and all my focus was on God. Everything that I wanted to do around the holidays, especially on Christmas, because Christmas we did not have no power. We didn't have no power. Luckily, I had some old toys I bought all the way back in 2000, I want to say 16, that I never opened. I don't know why, but luckily I had those, and it wasn't much, but I'm so grateful for my children because it doesn't take much to please them, thankfully. And I pray they remain that way. And a set of toys that their grandmother got them, just a toy piece, nothing major, but it was enough to really keep them satisfied on the holidays. And it really, truly blessed me. It blessed me because my mind wasn't set on the depression. I was just thankful because when I was turning on my phone and I was seeing people, they were, people finding bodies in the midst of the snow, people not being able to find a loved one. And when they did find a loved one, their body was already frozen to death. And it really helped me see what the issues are. Because yes, even though we do live in Buffalo, there are things that obviously nobody set to say, hey, this is a plan that we need to, have whenever this randomly happened. And so that's where my mind was, because I saw a lot of complaining, but I really didn't see nobody truly having a solution for the problem. And it blessed me to be in the midst of a storm and to have my mind shifted. And not only that, to instead of complaining, to start finding a solution to prevent this, to prevent deaths, to prevent agony, to prevent so many things. And it's like, Buffalo's been here for over hundreds of years. And so this is nothing new underneath the sun. And yes, they may have come up with certain things to have in place, but there's still things that could be really, bulletproof. And so I'm definitely going to work on what God has definitely highlighted in my heart. And it really just kind of brought me to tears because it's like, wow, God, you were so mindful of me to really have me, go through this, and not just go through it, but live through it, to, conquer it. Part of me didn't want to be honest with you. I was over it, but, there's always that part of you like, okay, I got the point, God, I'm thankful. My mind is shifted, but I made it through, and I never for once doubted that God wasn't going to pull me through. The struggle was watching the Facebooks and seeing so many, Facebook posts and the pleas for help. Like, that's what really mentally got me. And so I had to really log off. And I noticed even by me just logging off, that kind of helped with the depression that was trying to build up. So that depression, it had nothing to do with the holidays. That was just depression from what I was seeing. And it also shined a little light on, it's very important to know what you're connected to and what you're watching and what you're basically ingesting within your spirit, because it can really torment you. And for me, I was still praying, of course, but by me simply just logging off definitely lifted up that depression off of me, because it was too much for me to bear. And if you don't know, I'm currently pregnant, so just imagine just being emotional in general, And so that was something that really kind of it was just so many things that kept hitting. And so as I was, looking out and just like, oh my God, I pray that they give us electricity, I noticed something. And I thought it was so funny, strange, aggravating, all at the same time. I was going through it. The neighbors across the street from me, they had power. The neighbors behind me, they had power. Why this street was the only street that did not have power? And I'm like, oh God, man, this was a setup. So part of me was going through that mind warfare, like, dang, should I, prayed harder? Should I, Did I miss it? Like, should I cover the street by the blood of Jesus? Like, what the heck? Like, why just our street? And I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, low-key the Grinch, just looking at their Christmas lights from afar. And I don't know anybody, so I can't just walk over there and say, hey, can I charge my phone? And I wasn't going to put my kids through that because, just the temperature and it just being so cold and seeing ice on the ceiling, that was what just threw me for a loop. I'm like, oh my God, this is real. And yeah, so I'm like, God, this was a setup. This was a setup because they ain't no way, like this street only. So it just, I don't know. I love the relationship that I have with God. But I say all this to say, even though you're going through something, or if you're going through something, I don't want to just say that you're going through something and you're not. But if you're ever going through anything, gratitude is the best way to go about it. I've been seeing it. My mentor been saying it, and I've been wanting it. I ain't want it like that, but you know what? It is what it is. Gratitude is the best way to overcome stuff, because my gratitude and my heart posture is what really kept me from really just being bitter. It kept me from being, a complainer like most people I've seen on Facebook. I'm sorry, I had to call you out. It kept me from being in a place where it could have been way worse. Because I already said previously that I want to say this. I used to, because I'm not going to claim that no more. I used to suffer from holiday depression, but this Christmas has really shifted me so much, and it showed me areas where I need improvement, specifically like in the Word of God, like certain scriptures that I needed, and I couldn't think of it at the moment when these thoughts were bombarding me. But the blessing is I know because of this, I know where I have to keep building. I know where the enemy is trying to attack me. I know where I need to be stronger and what walls that I need to, really buckle down on to really make sure that it's stable. And not only that, it, like I said, with gratitude, but it also for me, it was like, what can I come out? Like, what can I do to change this so nobody else will have to go through this? And if they do, it will be like, it will minimize the death tolls. It will minimize so much more. Like, so many things could have been prevented if we really just sat down and just came together and thought. So if you're going through something, like my mentor always say, pull the wisdom out of it. Be a solutionist. So if you're going through something, find a solution out of it that not only can help you, but help those because of you that went through it, and just allow yourself to go through it and do it gracefully. You don't have to complain during the midst of it, because if you're going through it, it's got to be a reason why. If it might be your fault, it might be God's fault, it might be Satan's fault, but whatever the reason is, don't allow yourself to just be miserable in the midst of it. See the light of it, see God in it, see all the good things you could pull from it, and then take that and use that and try to help others. And that is something that truly blessed me. My kids, they don't even mind what happened. They really adapted very well. Excuse me, surprisingly. And so that also helped let me know that everything that I wanted to do for Christmas, everything that I wanted to have for them, it was for me. It wasn't for the kids. They knew it was Christmas. They knew it was Christmas Day. They knew there was no power. They had the toys that I had, and they were old, but they were okay with it. And so it helped me to realize I don't want to put that in their head. I don't want to put that in their spirit. I don't want to put that in their mind that they need to go out their way to do X, Y, and Z for a day where every day is a good day because they're alive. And so I hope this message blessed you. I am so grateful that we are making it through. And yes, let's keep going. Let's keep growing. And I will see you soon. Yeah, that's it. Happy holidays. I love you, and goodbye. How do you stop? Sorry, guys. I don't know how to stop. I'm going to learn how to stop recording. It's new, y'all. It's new. Oh, Lord. All right, I got it. Bye.